He challenged a comedian to prove who was smarter and lost in front of the entire country. In just seconds, the self-proclaimed stable genius became the punchline of his own challenge. And by the way, I took my cognitive exam as part of my physical, Trump bragged. I got the highest mark. One of the doctors said, "Sir, I've never seen anyone score like that. The highest mark ever." In the high-stakes world of political theater, confidence can turn into catastrophe when it isn't backed by substance. And that's exactly what happened when Donald Trump decided to test his intelligence publicly, only to be met with a challenge he never saw coming. This moment unfolded during a live presidential town hall moderated by Stephen Colbert. The topic was leadership, the Constitution, and executive power. Tension had already been building as Colbert calmly fact-checked several of Trump's sweeping claims. "I know more about the environment than most people," Trump said. "I know more about ISIS than the generals. Nobody knows more about courts than me. Nobody knows more about trade than me. Nobody knows more about construction than I do." The list went on. And with each claim, Trump grew more irritated, more defensive, and more desperate to regain control of the room. Finally, he snapped. Listening to Colbert and his little gotcha questions, Trump sneered, turning to the audience. "He acts like he's some kind of expert. He thinks he's so smart. But it's all an act." And he turned back toward the moderator, eyes narrowed. "You know what? I'm tired of it. Forget the question. I demand that we take an IQ test right here, right now. Bring out the doctors. The best doctors. Let the American people see who really has the brain for this job." The audience buzzed. Trump stood tall, confident, smug. He believed he'd flipped the script. He believed he'd won. Colbert didn't react the way Trump expected. He stayed calm, almost serene. "That's an interesting proposal, Mr. President," Colbert said evenly. "A test of cognitive ability is certainly important for anyone holding this office." Then he paused. "But before we bring out official proctors and complex exams," Colbert continued, "perhaps we could start with something much simpler. A basic reading comprehension test. Just one short, very important paragraph." Colbert reached under his desk and pulled out a single sheet of paper. The room went quiet. He walked across the stage and handed it to Trump. Cameras zoomed in. Millions watched live. Trump squinted at the page. It was the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. He began to read aloud. "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press." His voice slowed. He stumbled. He lost his place. "Or the right of the people, peaceably, to assemble." The silence was unbearable. The man who demanded an IQ test stood frozen, struggling through a paragraph every American student is expected to know. Colbert said nothing. He didn't interrupt. He didn't mock him. He didn't have to. In just a few seconds, the challenge collapsed under its own weight. The boast evaporated. The bluff was exposed. Trump lowered the paper. The audience understood immediately. So did everyone watching at home. The self-declared genius had challenged intelligence itself and lost. Not because of a complicated test. Not because of trick questions. But because real intelligence doesn't need to announce itself.